name's Cindy Schwartz, and this is the Martha Matters Show. We're broadcasting on 107.9 FM and also podcast on Spreaker. Now here she is, your host, Martha.
Well, hi there, and welcome. Hey, we're talking about real estate, but I thought this is a great time to bring the topic up because we're in the middle of the holiday season. Everybody buying presents, keeping appointments, going to parties. But at January 1st, literally, even on the 2nd of January at 9 a.m., a lot of real estate offices are flooded with people. Oh, the holidays are over. We want a good deal. We want to buy something in a hurry. And I've got to talk to you about what's really going on in the current real estate market. There are several sets of buyers. I'll tell you one set, and I even mentioned this a few weeks ago on the radio. Many people who live in expensive areas and are now turning empty nesters, except for holidays when all the family visit and come back. They want to downsize. Most of them are mortgage-free, so they sell, let's say, a beachfront or an island front home anywhere from $700,000 to $900,000, even $1 million, and then they can go on the mainland, buy a very nice, newly made home by several builders, or older homes that are charming in some of our best neighborhoods. And they will more than likely be from $400,000 to $900,000, depending on the size and the amount of acreage. So you can actually downsize and put money in your pocket. And for those who sell, let's say, a beachfront home for about $800,000, they can have a gorgeous home in a gated community with pool, and even some of them have clubhouses, and you'll be $400,000 to $500,000, where you can take that extra $400,000 and invest it. And that's another topic for another day, which I'll gladly give to you. But they make an excellent buyer. Why? Because they're cash buyers. And right now, real estate percentages on mortgage interest is absolutely terrible. Now, the good news, it's gone down a little. It's gone down from like 8.5%, 8.75%. It's now down to 7.44% interest. That's a nice improvement, but not enough. To first-time home buyers who need a 20 or 30-year mortgage, I recommend two things. If you want to buy now, get an adjustable mortgage that is fixed for, let's say, 3 years at maybe 6% or something like that. And then during the next 3 years, and your income increases and everything else, then apply for a fixed mortgage for 20, 30 years, and you'll be in good shape. But very honestly, for most of the millennials, especially the just marrieds and the or those who just started new employments, most mortgage companies want a year or two experience at that job in that location. It's not that they're rejecting you, but they want to make sure that you're stable.
I got a question, Martha. I want to interrupt you for a second about the adjustable mortgage. And this came up in 2008, 2009, so many years ago, where people kind of got hanged on their mortgage because of the rate. After the initial couple of years, it went sky high.
Absolutely.
So what do people think about that nowadays? I mean, what should you think about that?
Well, what I recommend is that they get a mortgage and tell the mortgage company right up front, look, in a couple of years, with our stability and growth in economics, we want to remortgage the place, and we'll be right up front with you now and saying this mortgage is not long term. I don't care if you say it's 10, 20, 30 years. We want another mortgage in a couple of years, and I'll be right up front with you. And I'm not saying it won't be with your mortgage company, but I'm looking for mortgage rates to go down, and there's good reason why they will go down.
And what would that do for the people trying to buy the house as far as not getting a really high interest rate at that after the 3-year peak or whatever? Does that just tell the people that they are looking for a less percentage on the mortgage up front? Or I don't get why that would make a difference.
Yes, tell them that because the rates skyrocket on all adjustable rate loans, and they don't want to go paying 8 and 9%.
Or higher.
Or even 7.5%. And the reason I'm trying to educate them on this, and it's real important, 2 things. First, to reduce inflation, interest rates will be going down.
Okay.
Number 2, but we don't know how much, maybe 6.9% or something. But upon further research, and this is just looking it up on Google, if you look up every election year, which 2024 is coming up, interest rates go down. Why? Both parties want to grab voters.
Okay.
And that's a very good way of doing it. And what I'm recommending is for first-time home buyers, newlyweds, or people who have just changed their jobs. I shouldn't be recommending this as a realtor, but for your own good, I would rent for a year right now, or even 6 or 8 months if you're not in a position to wait a full year. Rent for that amount of time for 2 reasons. Rates will be going down, number 1, and also the reason I'm so confident they're going down, my Google research showed me that every year that's an election year, rates go down.
So are we looking towards the end of the year for the rates to go down when the actual election takes place, or any time during 2024?
That's a very good question. And if I could answer it, I wouldn't not only be on this show, I would have I would have all 5 TV channels.
Okay. All right. So you're saying it's kind of a crapshoot when it's going to happen, but you think it's going to happen in 2024?
Absolutely.
Just because it's an election year?
Yes.
Okay.
And historically, that has proven true.
Okay.
And most people don't think of that. I wouldn't have thought of that if I hadn't done a little research on it.
Yeah, me either. Yeah.
So this is for the first-time home buyer, like I said, newlyweds, new employments, and if the mortgage companies don't care if you move, like from New York to Florida or anywhere else, but they want to know if it's the same occupation. Okay. That will improve your chances of getting a mortgage. If you pull the middle-age depression and suddenly change jobs totally, you're just like a millennial newlywed, and you're going to have to prove yourself for a year or 2. That's very important. Just because you've been perfect on employment, reliable, you may have had one steady employment or one type of job for more than 20 years, and you want to change jobs, all of a sudden your beautiful history of the last 20 years doesn't count. They
Yeah.
consider you right out of college as if you're starting out.
So you want to buy the house before you do that? Or
That's
if you
right.
Can, or
That's
whatever, yeah.
right.
So it's the continuity really that they're looking
Yes.
at. Okay.
And get your home, and if 3 months later you change jobs, they don't care.
Right.
All you need to do is keep paying your mortgage, and you will be in good shape no matter where you work, even if you're digging ditches that you never did before.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Well, sometimes you need any kind of change. I'm with you. You know. You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah. That's the one group of people. The next group of people that reasons don't look for lowering prices. I'm talking about lower mortgage rates coming up. That will be great. But don't look for too much of a lowering in price.
Okay.
Certainly not back to 3 and 4 years ago, pre-pandemic. Everybody has gotten a raise of some kind, maybe not enough, but prices are going to hold their own. Why? Very simply. The demand in Florida is absolutely outrageous. Not only are thousands of people moving down to Florida per month, but also manufacturing and businesses are too. And with more people, the basic utilities such as schooling, education, and first responders, hospital workers, you name it, all kinds of people who come with licensed professions, they should not have trouble finding a job if they're still in the workforce. That's a positive. But the prices for a new home, an older home, existing home, it may level off. It may possibly go down 5% if the seller is in a hurry, like they want to move in with a family member who needs nursing care or any personal reason. If they're in a real hurry, you can find a very good deal. But 90+% of all the sellers can wait it out. The other reason why the prices are going to hold their own, all of those, and across the country are multiple millions, a few billion homes, in fact, that were lucky to get the 2% and 3% mortgage, even 3.5%, 4% mortgage. They would normally sell, or, let me try another neighborhood, let me downsize, maybe upsize a little bit, or find the same size but someone who already has a pool. All of a sudden, all of those people are staying put. They are not putting their home on the market. So we all know how supply and demand works. Supply is going to be relatively short for quite a while. In fact, even a decade or more.
Wow.
Because of the 2% mortgages that they got for 20 and 30 years. And they're absolutely silly to think about moving at all. Make the best of where you are, do improvements. There's the old Lowe's and Home Depot. You can add on a room, but you will be living very, very comfortably with those 2 and 3% mortgages.
And when was the last time, or was there a time, Martha, do you know, that there were 2 and 3% mortgages? To me, because to me, and I don't want to sound dated, but in my lifetime, it was always about 5 to 7%. I never saw 2 to 3%.
Yeah, that was only the last few years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I grew up with 7 and 8% mortgages, and they went back and forth between 7.5, 8, 8.5. Very briefly, way back under President Carter, they may have jumped up to 18% or something.
Right. Yeah, that was obscene.
That was obscene, and that only lasted a few months.
Thank goodness.
And thank goodness.
Yeah.
But 90% of the time, historically, from the year 1900 to 2000, most of that time was 7 and 8% mortgages, and they really didn't fluctuate much, just a quarter of a percentage here and there, and that all of a sudden was a big deal. So we're in different times now, and we're not going to go back to those times, and we're certainly not going to go back to 2 and 3% mortgages with inflation the way it is.
Yeah.
It's just like a loaf of bread. It stayed like 59 cents a loaf, 69 cents a loaf for 2 decades. Now, after the year 2000, and it still varies, but it's everywhere from like $3.50 to $4.50 to even $5.
Right, yeah.
If you have a specialty loaf with cranberry or raisins or something in it, an easy $5 a loaf. And it's going to go down, but it's not going to go down by much. With reduced inflation, they may go down 50 cents.
Yeah.
Well, apply the same thing to real estate. Prices are not going to go down, but we are very, very lucky that they look like they're going to be leveling off, not for a few months, but 1, 2, or 3 years at least, while the mortgage industry shakes out its troubles. And the troubles are very real. The troubles involved what kind of recommendations you have, what kind of even personal references you have. People never looked at personal references. You just wrote them on the application, and the mortgage company never used to look at them. Now they look at everything.
Yeah.
So don't give fictitious phone numbers. Don't give fictitious names. Have people you can really trust, because everything is examined these days. Well, okay, we're going to take a quick break, but stay with us because we have all kinds of more information for you. Stay put. I want to introduce you to our main sponsor, Highland Plaza, located on US 1 on the east side of the Highland Drive traffic light. We even have our own left-hand turn lane. One of the places in there, the first one on the north side, is Easy Stop, and you will be surprised what competitive and beautiful prices they have. You should give it a shot. Also, Tony's Hairstyling Salon is ideal for the entire family at all ages. He and his wife have run a salon there for years with a huge following. Also, we want to tell you about La Taberna Restaurant. It has the freshest Mexican food in town and a well-experienced chef. You will be most surprised not only by the food, but the reasonable prices. Also, I want to tell you about the nail salon. It's Luxury Nails. Let me tell you, they do everything, both for walk-in clients and appointments. Appointments are really appreciated, but they treat all clients professionally. Now, I want to repeat to you, this is located on US 1, just east of Highland Drive at the traffic light. It's a beautiful yellow building with a maroon awning. We look forward to seeing you there. Come on over.
Ladies, are you looking for a change but just don't know how to get there? Don't miss the Women's Life Mastery event, a roadmap for change to becoming your best self. 10 fabulous women sharing their expertise for real ways to positive change. This holiday season, invest in yourself and register today to discover and become your best self. Breakfast, lunch, swag, and more. The Women's Life Mastery event, Saturday, January 13th at Joy Farms in Vero Beach. Visit CIAcertified.com today for more details. CIAcertified.com.
Right now at Sunshine Furniture, it's holiday sale time, so you can save up to 50% on selected groups of indoor and outdoor furniture from Lloyd Flanders, Telescope, Windward, Capri, Seawinds, Universal, and lots more. Sofas, love seats, dining sets, patio groups, occasional chairs, bedroom sets, all on sale just in time to make Santa say ho, ho, ho. Also, all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half off. And don't forget to visit our outlet and sales store just across the street from our main location for lots of great holiday bargains. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza next to Planet Fitness in Vero Beach. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture brightens up your day. Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Ooh, have a sunshine day. Sunshine Furniture.
Advertising is essential. You've got to make people aware that you're there. We can do that with a cohesive marketing campaign from Evergreen Media. Based on your business goals, we'll create a mix of digital advertising on social media sites like Facebook, video advertising on streaming sites like Hulu and Paramount Plus, and supplement them with local TV and radio ads. Build awareness, educate, and inform the public with a cohesive marketing campaign by Evergreen Media. Check out egreenmedia.com or search online for Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
And Martha's back.
Hi there, and welcome back. Hey, real estate is quite something, but even though I told you, some of you, the millennials especially, to rent for a year, that doesn't mean go home and sit down and spend each day having your coffee and going to employment. What I really want you people to do during that time, ride around the different neighborhoods, know which neighborhoods go to which schools if you have kids, or if that's not important, what neighborhoods have a clubhouse and socializing for older retirees, or golf courses if that's going to be part of the necessity of your retirement life. Know what you want and drive around and look at the communities. There is no way when you rent for a year, you don't know what you want, and you go to a realtor and they show you a pretty home and you know nothing about the neighborhood, safe or unsafe, and you're your own worst enemy if you don't do all this checking out, especially moving to a new town or a new neighborhood, especially like even Vero Beach. You can get a brand new home under warranties, but you have to commute maybe 5 miles to get to the beach. The kids can't walk or bike to the beach. So you have to think all of those things before you buy a home. It's not just the house you're buying, it's the neighborhood. And you've heard this expression many times, location, location, location.
Right. And plus your own personal quality of life, too, is what you're saying, Martha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody has slightly different priorities. Some are empty nesters, some are not. So we don't have much time left. But if you have any questions for me, feel free to call 772-231-0001 and ask for Martha. That's our real estate office, and I look forward to hearing questions from you. And in the future, every single live stream has a completely different topic. So next week at this time, it may not be real estate. It will be something else. So we'll wait and see.